What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this Samsung soundbar. The model number of this soundbar is the hw-ms550. I'm going to be talking about the upsides of this soundbar and the downsides. The first thing that I do like about this is the drivers they supplied. They did supply 2 tweeters and 4 woofers, and it does sound pretty good. However, there are some main flaws. Now, the other thing I do love is the build quality. It feels very solid, very solid. I mean, this thing feels like you could throw it off a balcony and it would be perfectly fine. It is solid. There's not a single resonating or rattling piece of plastic on this soundbar. And that's what I like about soundbars, you know, when they're nice. And this thing's heavy. I'd say it weighs around 5-6 pounds, maybe a little more. But I do like soundbars that are quality. I don't use a soundbar. I have a dedicated home theater in my room. It's not a dedicated home theater. It's a home theater, not a dedicated theater in my bedroom. But it's a Samsung, and like I said, it's a pretty nice soundbar. However, there are some main flaws. I don't know what they made this grill out of. It's steel. However, the coating they have on this thing is absolutely awful. It rusted the first day I got it, and I don't know why. I don't know. Like, see, another rust spot there, and you can probably spot a few more rust spots along it. And I figured you just have to clean it like a ton if you want to keep it in like perfect working order. Another thing is the driver array. I don't like the driver array. They've got a tweeter over here. Mind you, it's not silk dome or anything. It is like one of those, it looks like one of those crappy little drivers with the silver cones that are like $1 you can buy off Amazon. Looks like one of those, except it has a black cone. And it's literally a driver. It's not a tweeter. You can push it in and it has like actual movement and X-Max and everything. So it's got a little woofer, and it's got like 3-inch long drivers or woofers right next to each other. So it spans about from here to the edge. Same thing on this side. And then you've got an LED screen over here indicating what input or whatever you're on and volume. Nothing in the center though. Center is just wasted space, and that's what I don't like about this center channel or soundbar. There's a lot of wasted space on this soundbar. This soundbar is about 3 to 4 inches deep, and they could have easily added 1 or 2 Dolby Atmos speakers up here, easily. And I understand this is only a $150 soundbar. It's not that high end, but still, they could have added so much on this soundbar that would have made it so much better. I don't even care if the speakers are that high quality. Just having them there would have made this so much better. As for inputs or outputs, you have a power out for the TV. Don't know why that's there. I would never use this. Get the power in. You've got optical. I don't know what the wireless thing is. It's just a USB-C cable. Aux in, USB, HDMI in, and HDMI out, which is the TV ARC. And then over here you have Wi-Fi setup and speaker head. That's the weird thing with this soundbar. If we flip it onto the back, you can see Dolby Audio, DTS, and HDMI. However, under DTS, you can see it's a 2.0 channel or 2.0 channel. What is the speaker ad for? Can I still add a subwoofer? Because the soundbar doesn't come with one, or rears. It is just it. And I found that very weird. I tried pairing multiple Samsung subwoofers with it, and it still did not want to pair with them. None of them recognized each other. And if you look up the model number, there is no subwoofer that goes with this soundbar. Very interesting. But yeah, I just thought there was a lot of, it sounds relatively good. However, it does bottom out when you reach like 50-60% volume. If you're listening to like bassy music like I do, and it hits around 40 hertz, you can hear it just absolutely dying on the inside. It is bottoming out like crazy, which I think is horrible. I mean, I feel like I should be able to have the freedom to be able to play it at that volume and it not bottom out. You see that tweeter there? It's just a black cone and a little rubber surround, not even a tweeter. And you kind of see the woofers barely in there. But I already took it apart and I put it back together. I just wanted to see what the drivers looked like, and they're not the prettiest looking drivers. They look like JBL drivers, however, they have that ugly, like exposed coil on the side, and it just looks horrible. But yeah, once again, a lot of wasted space. Nothing in the center, just stereo. Nothing on the top, no Dolby Atmos, and you don't even get a sub with it for 150 bucks, which I think is kind of a scam. But you know, it's not like Samsung flagship model, which is like $1,300 or $1,800 or whatever it was. It's still a decent soundbar. I would still recommend it, but don't listen to rebased or like hip hop or anything with it, because it will indeed bottom out like absolute craziness. You can tell the crossovers didn't set them low enough or high enough. But it's a decent soundbar. Another interesting thing is there is indeed mounting hardware on the bottom. However, there's no mounting hardware on the back. You can't mount this how you should be able to. If you wanted to mount it to a wall, it's going to have the speakers facing down. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be and it like shoots down and then bounces off your floor or whatever, but I would think it would want to shoot like this. I have no clue, but yeah, it's I'll give them this. It's a great looking soundbar. Clean, sleek. I love the brushed metal look. It's not actually metal, obviously it's plastic, but it looks cool. I mean, that's what Samsung does on all their stuff. I recently got a new Samsung 4K. You see on the back of the remote, it's got that same brushed aluminum look. So, relatively cool. If you want a soundbar that sounds pretty decent at like lower volumes, like 20, 30, and not something for watching crazy movies with crazy amounts of bass or low end, I'd go with this. However, if you want a good experience, go with a 5.1, or at least get something that comes with rears and a subwoofer. It's a game changer. I'm not a huge fan of soundbars, as you can tell. I have a 5.1, but it's a good soundbar. Oh, sorry, it's a good soundbar, and I mean, yeah, sure, I'd recommend it, but I would not recommend it for movies or music. Honestly, it's decent, but yeah. And another thing, the Bluetooth latency is absolutely horrible, so don't Bluetooth this to your TV. It's gonna suck bad. But other than that, it's a decent soundbar. It's okay for the money. You can buy way cheaper soundbars on Amazon that come with way more, that sound better, have a sub. So you can either go with something, a 2.0 setup, or at least get a 5.1 system or a 5.1 soundbar for cheaper. But yeah, that's my review of the Samsung MW, I already forgot the model name, hw-ms550.